This is the new Porsche Cayenne. Now the company says this car is more of a Porsche than ever before. That sounds impressive, but it's actually an admission that the old Cayenne wasn't as much of a Porsche as people had hoped. But this new model certainly looks the goods. Let's see if it delivers. Today we're only testing the V6 diesel and petrol models. We'll get our hands on the V8s and the first ever hybrid Porsche Cayenne a little later. To me, the name Porsche has always been synonymous with sports cars, and that's why I find it hard to get my head around the concept of a Porsche four-wheel drive diesel. Now there's nothing wrong with this diesel engine. It's punchy, it's quiet, and it's also very efficient, 20% more efficient than the last model. But for me, there's no real thrill factor. There's no exhaust note like you would get in a sporty car. Now it may not cut it as a sports car, but as luxury family transport, the Cayenne takes some beating. It sits flat through the corners, feels very stable and secure on the open road, and it soaks up bumps without wallowing or pitching too much. Part of the reason the new Cayenne feels so good on the road is that the engineers have managed to cut almost 200 kilos out of the curb weight of the car. Now obviously that pays dividends in terms of fuel efficiency, but what it also does is make it more nimble through the corners. Now one of the things that I really like about the new Cayenne is the cabin. The seats are really comfortable and supportive, the dash looks classy and uncluttered, and all the controls are really easy to use. Some of Porsche's competitors love to bamboozle you with thousands of drop-down menus and screens, but the Porsche approach is simple. They use buttons and it works. Porsche says that 95% of people who go for a V6 will actually choose the diesel model. And to me that's actually a good choice, because I reckon that the petrol V6 is a little underpowered for the job. Now one of the things you'll notice with the Cayenne is that it's got Porsche's stop-start technology. That means when you come to a set of lights and they're red, you don't have to sit here with the car idling. You just put your foot on the brake and the whole thing shuts down. Have a listen to that. Silence. The new Cayenne isn't perfect though. The ride feels a little fidgety and sharp at low speeds, and this 8-speed transmission isn't the smoothest shifting transmission I've ever driven. There's no doubt this new Cayenne looks and feels a lot more like a Porsche. It's incredibly stable and secure through corners, and it's actually a lot of fun to drive. It's still my least favourite Porsche, but there's no shame in that. It's a bit like saying Jody Kidd's your least favourite supermodel.